I have been officially going to college for 3 days now, and quite frankly, it's been awful. Firstly, I should say I only know one person who goes to my college. She's not in any of my classes, she doesn't have the same lunchtime as me, and she's not even on my bus. This is it. We've come to the Icebreaker. Now, I don't know if you know what icebreakers are, but basically they're just tasks that teachers set to make students socialise with each other, which is fine and lovely if you're a sociable person, but if you're awkward like me, then you just want to sit under a table and cry, which isn't generally accepted. Some are easy, some are okay. There was one I had yesterday. You just had to find a person who was a vegetarian, a person who was born in September, a person who was musical, etc. And it was really easy because you can just forge names and the teacher isn't going to check anyway, and even if she did, she doesn't know the names yet. So the task from my first English Lit class, I think, will probably haunt me for the next 2 years. You stand in a line across the classroom and you have to pick an animal that represents you, and then the first person says their animal and their name, and then the next person repeats the previous person's animal and name and then says their own, and then the next person does the two in front of them, and so on, so that the last person is the one who has to say all of the names and all of the animals. I felt really sorry for the girl on the end. The difficult bit for me was trying to pick an animal, because I didn't want to be predictable and just say cat or dog or something, because it's supposed to be something memorable, right? I tried to think of it as if it were a Patronus, and the first thought I had was a badger, because they're really antisocial. They don't come out when humans are around, and because it's Matt Smith's favourite animal. But then my teacher said badger, and obviously I couldn't have the same animal as the teacher because that would be weird, so suddenly I had to think of something else, and my brain was completely buzzing around and I didn't know what, and it was getting closer and closer to my turn, so I was trying to remember everybody else's whilst trying to think an animal for me. So in the end I went for something quite simple. I chose a horse because they're happy to cooperate most of the time and they're easily spooked. So it got to me and I said, Anna is a cat, Ryan is a dog, someone was a hamster and someone was a guinea pig. And then it was me and I said Cleo is a horse. When it got to about 3 people away from me, I started to notice if you say Cleo is a horse really fast, you can't hear the SC on the end. So it sounds like, well, horse without the S on the end. It sounds like they were calling me a prostitute. The entire class is going, Cleo is a horse, Cleo is a horse, Cleo is a horse. And all I can hear is prostitute, prostitute, prostitute. I wanted to sit under the table and cry, whether it was acceptable or not. Why, God, why? But there was a plus side. My teacher, he's a massive Doctor Who fan. He's got a model of a TARDIS in the corner of his room. So I decided to promote him to my favourite teacher in the entire college. I should mention that was my first lesson, so that was the only teacher that I'd had. So the only person in the entire class that I have anything in common with is the 50-year-old teacher. The 50-year-old teacher. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my misery, and I hope that your first day back wasn't as bad as mine. Bye!